Yes, it is another Raw video from your favorite YouTube scout, Draftrawthentic. And for this video, I decided, let me just go live. Now, I probably won't get a lot of people watching this live. Hopefully, I get some people to watch this as I put up this video. But the reason why I am doing this video, if you look at the title, this is the preseason AFC watch list. Now, basically, that's self-explanatory where it is. So I'm gonna pretty much go after, talk about every single team in the AFC and who people should watch out for from this past draft class in the preseason. So let's just start with the AFC North, and if we're gonna start with the AFC North, we gotta start with my favorite team, and that's the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I know that they had a Hall of Fame game, so you can look at it as you want, but I didn't watch the Hall of Fame game. That's why I didn't make a video for the Hall of Fame game. I had a previous engagement that I had to do, so it is what it is, but we are finally into preseason mode. So for the Baltimore Ravens, the person that I want to watch the most, I would have to say will probably be Lamar Jackson. Now, you know how I feel about Lamar Jackson. I feel as though he needs to get better as a quarterback, period, in terms of the way he throws the ball and the decisions that he makes and how he's going to have to read defenses and stuff like that. But with all that being said, that's the reason why he is the biggest preseason watch person for the Ravens, the person that I want to see the most, because I want to see the progression that he had from the Hall of Fame game to this first preseason game of week 1. Now, keeping with the theme for the AFC North, for the Pittsburgh Steelers, the person that I want to watch the most, that I definitely want to keep my eye on, will have to be Terrell Edmunds. And the reason being is because I wasn't a huge fan of the pick being in the first round, and I wasn't the biggest fan, period, of Terrell Edmunds. I like the way that he plays with a lot of aggressiveness, and I like the way that he just plays with a lot of heart. And you know that when he goes out there, he just wants to make plays. He's just not physically able to do it consistently like you want it. But he's the guy that the Pittsburgh Steelers picked him in the first round. And there's a reason why they did, and I will need to know why. So in this first preseason game, I don't know all the preseason games or what's going on with the preseason games, like who's playing who. It doesn't really matter to me. I just want to see the players. But with this first preseason game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, he is the guy that I want to watch the most. I need to see if he can be consistent, and is he the playmaker that the Steelers drafted him for. Now, also keeping with the AFC North, we're going to go to the Cleveland Browns. Now, the person that I have to watch the most for the Cleveland Browns is Nick Chubb. I am the biggest fan of Nick Chubb. And the reason why I'm the biggest fan of Nick Chubb is because he's the type of running back that I want. The running back that you look for, that I really want to see. And with Nick Chubb, what he brings to the table is a lot of speed. Well, not like he's like really, really fast, but he brings the bruiser back. That's what I was trying to think of. I was trying to think of the name. He brings that bruiser style of running style that you want to see from running backs a lot of the time, or at least what I want to see from running backs. And honestly, he is my favorite running back in this draft, and I think that he is the natural franchise running back from this draft, period. I know you got the Saquon Barkleys and the Darius Geis and all of that, and I Saquon Barkley. People know how I feel about him. Not his biggest fan. Darius Geis, that's still my guy right there. But Nick Chubb is my guy beyond those guys. And I just need to know if this guy is ready for the NFL. Does he have the speed to be in the NFL? I know, guys, you can run a 40 time in the 4.5s, and you can do all of that type of stuff. But do you literally have the speed to play this game? Especially with that big knee injury that Nick Chubb suffered in college. Would he be able to rebound from that and be able to live up to what he's capable of being? So keeping with the AFC North, I'm going to the Bengals, and I think that the person that I want to watch the most out of all of these guys will be Malik Jefferson. And the reason why I have to go with Malik Jefferson has a lot to do with he's one of those guys that I wasn't the biggest fan of, but I understood understood like the reason why the Bengals picked him in the third round. To me, that's being pretty high. He's one of those guys that is a height, weight, speed type of specimen. Well, I wouldn't say height, weight, speed, but is one of those new age athletic specimens for the linebacker position. A guy that can run all over the field. He's got the speed, he's got kind of the strength, he can try to shed blocks and do all of that type of stuff. But the thing about him is that he needs to play with a lot more instincts. If he had natural instincts and if he was just being able to read plays, this dude would be a beast, and he would probably be the best linebacker in the draft because he got everything else that you're looking for in a linebacker. He just needs to get better with his instincts, and that's the most interesting person to be on the watch list for me when it comes to some of these AFC teams is Malik Jefferson. So now sticking with the AFC, I've already done the North. Now I'm going to go to the West. And when it comes to the Oakland Raiders, the preseason watch list person to me would be, and just looking at my notes, it's Colton Miller. I think that he's in a situation where they want him to be the left tackle, but you have a guy like Donald Penn that is supposed to be the starting left tackle. Now, I heard that he's not really in camp or he's hurt or something like that. I'm not really sure, but I know that when it comes to Colton Miller, he's the one that is taking the reps at left tackle. So he needs to prove that he can actually hang in the NFL as a left tackle. And I'm actually a fan of Colton Miller. I'm actually a really, pretty big fan of Colton. And I worry about it a little bit, but I'm just hoping that he's the guy that I thought he could be from what I've seen on tape. He definitely needed to improve with his strength, but I think that because of his length and his natural pass blocking ability, we have to see. Maybe he will be really, really solid for the Raiders. But in the preseason, that is a guy to watch, and that is a huge position for the Oakland Raiders to protect Derek Carr's blind side. Then moving on to the San Diego Chargers, I have to say probably the watch list person would be Uchenna Nwasu. And the reason why I wouldn't say Derwin James is because I think that I got an idea what Derwin James is. So if I see that he let a pass go over his head and it goes for a touchdown, a big play, I know what he is. So, I get who he is. But Uchenna Nwasu is a guy that honestly to me, he had first round talent. He just got picked in the second round because that there was linebackers that were better than him. And pass rushing wise, he's not the cleanest pass rusher of all the pass rushers, but he has the traits to be a really, really good pass rusher in this league. So that's why I have to say, if I'm looking at the Chargers, he is the guy that I want to watch the most. Then moving on to the Chiefs, I have to say Breeland Speaks, because he's a guy that I felt as though definitely had the talent for where he was picked. I didn't think he would get picked as high in the second round, but he definitely had the talent to be who he is and why the Chiefs picked him. But he's an interesting name for the Chiefs because he's, playing on a defensive line in that 3-4. He's a guy that I need to watch. I need to know, I know he's going to be good, but it's one of those things where, he's had some troubles off the field and he's had different things. Troubles on the field. I'm sorry, not off the field. On the field, he has different things that's happened. I just need to know during the preseason, can he keep his cool? Can he play, can he keep his mind clear and be able to play the game and not get too frustrated and sit there and make a boneheaded play or a mistake that will hurt a team like the Raiders? And then moving on to the last team for the AFC West is the Broncos. And obviously, to me, the person that I want to watch the most out of all of them, I actually will have to go with Courtland Sutton. I heard that he's doing pretty good things down in Denver, but the question about him is that can he put it all together on the football field? He's a big, tall guy. He's not the greatest route runner that you're going to see. So you're just wondering, okay, can he get it all together? And can he be the type of receiver that you're looking for the Denver Broncos as that third receiver? Then, if he can be that guy when it's all said and done, you can take an Emmanuel Sanders and put him in the slot. But can Courtland Sutton be that big, tall, number one type of receiver that the Broncos need for their future? And then we're going to the AFC West. I'm going to just try to run through it real quick. When it comes to the rest of the teams, I'm not going to try to give too much explanation. I think the Patriots' biggest preseason watch guy to me would be Sony Michel as a running back. I just need to know. That I would just say that. For the Jets, it will definitely be Sam Darnold. We need to know if he can play this game. We're talking about the whole preseason, not just week 1 of preseason. We're talking about the whole preseason. Sam Darnold, he needs to prove that he is a franchise quarterback and he's ready to start. For the Buffalo Bills, it has to be Josh Allen. It's the same thing. He needs to prove that he is a starter or he is a franchise quarterback and he's ready to start in this league. And then for the Miami Dolphins, I have to say not Minka Fitzpatrick, because we know he is Mike Gesicki. Gesicki is a tight end that he's got a lot of the tools that you need for a receiving type of tight end, a big play tight end. But you're gonna still have the questions about his blocking and everything, and just his overall aggressiveness. Can he be the aggressor on a team, or is he just a guy that kind of let things get by him and let things go past him? And so you just wonder about that a little bit. And then going to the AFC South, the Jaguars, I have to say, to me, the preseason watch guy would be Taven Bryan. Before the draft started, I think before the college season started last year, they was trying to compare him to J.J. Watt. So maybe he could show some reminiscence of what J.J. Watt is in the league. I don't think he is, but he's a guy that's definitely on the biggest watch list. For the Houston Texans, I have to say Justin Reed, I believe he has a chance to actually be a starter for this team. So it's one of those things is that can they finally, in their entire existence, get a pretty good safety in the league? They haven't had a good safety since they came into the league. At least from my knowledge. So it's one of those things where I think Bernard Pollard probably their best safety they ever had. So overall, we're just looking forward to see, can Justice Reed be that guy that they need for the back end of their defense? And then you got the Indianapolis Colts. To me, Darius Leonard, I've heard that he's done like really, really good in training camp, and that is a guy that I was a huge fan of, and was surprised that he got picked in the second round, but I was surprised because I thought he would just go later, not because he didn't have the talent or anything. I just thought he would go later. And then last but not least, the last team for the AFC, and that is the Tennessee Titans. And I think that it would have to be Harold Landry with the injuries that he had in college, the down season that he had in college, and the season before, which was so good. You just got to see, is he back to form? Is he back to being the player that scouts and people who have watched him just think he can be? So anyway, like I said, this is another Raw video. I thank you for watching. Goodbye.